Ethan sat in front of his screen, watching Bitcoin's price fluctuate wildly. Fear gripped him as he recalled stories of investors losing everything overnight. But just as he was about to sell, greed took over. What if this was his chance to make it big? Trapped between two powerful emotions, Ethan had to make a choice: follow his impulses or control them. Ethan sat in front of his computer, staring at the blinking price chart of Bitcoin. His heart pounded as he watched the numbers fluctuate wildly, one moment soaring, the next plummeting. He had seen this before, yet every time it felt like an entirely new battlefield. Fear gripped him as he recalled the countless stories of investors losing everything overnight. Just last week, his friend Liam had panic sold his holdings at a loss, convinced that the market was crashing for good. Now, Ethan wondered if he should do the same before it was too late. But then, a surge in price sent a different emotion rushing through him: greed. Maybe this was the moment to go all in. He had seen influencers on Twitter boasting about their million-dollar gains, claiming they knew the market would recover. The thought of missing out on potential profits gnawed at him. He had read about FOMO, fear of missing out, before, but it was different when he was experiencing it firsthand. He quickly opened his exchange account, ready to buy more, but his hand hesitated over the button. Was this a smart decision, or was he just another pawn in the game of emotions? Ethan decided to take a step back. He pulled out the trading journal he had started keeping after his last impulsive mistake. It was filled with notes about past trades, both the wins and the losses. Reviewing his own patterns, he realized how many times fear had driven him to sell too early, and how greed had made him buy into hype just before a crash. The market was unpredictable, but his emotions? Those were a pattern he could learn from. Taking a deep breath, he reminded himself of his long-term strategy. He wasn't here for quick wins or overnight riches. The key was discipline, not chasing green candles or fleeing from red ones. Instead of making a rash decision, he set up a limit order at a price he had previously determined was reasonable, detached from the emotions of the moment. He turned off his screen and went for a walk, knowing that constant monitoring only fed his anxiety. Days passed, and the market did what it always did: fluctuated. His limit order was eventually triggered, and while prices continued to rise and fall, he no longer felt the same desperation to react impulsively. He had learned the golden rule of investing: control your emotions, or they will control you. Ethan still had moments of doubt, but now he understood that successful investing wasn't about predicting the market. It was about mastering himself. And so, while the crypto world remained an unpredictable storm, Ethan had finally found his anchor, not in price charts or online predictions, but in his ability to think rationally in a sea of fear and greed.